Hello guys. Yeah, we have done a lot of things so far, and it's time to reach the final result. Okay, so this is a simple compositing from Nuke. I would just review what I've done here quickly. The basic thing that we use to separate layers from the EXR, so that we use them separately and color correct them or grade them. Okay, we use for this a node called shuffle node. So if we just create a shuffle node, and here we have loaded the mesh and the vorticity, the splash or the foam, our navy plane. Okay, so we load with a read node and select the rendered sequence. Anyway, if you just press 1 here to see the result here of the rendering of the mesh, we can use this shuffle node and connect it to our mesh. Then in this shuffle node we can just select layers that we want. So we can, for example, select direct reflection, direct refraction, indirect reflection, indirect refraction. And the indirect refraction here is very useful because it has the refraction here from the foam, which will give the simulation the foamy looking, or this white water looking here. So we have done just a simple compositing. So here we have shuffled the indirect reflection, the direct reflection, the refraction. The indirect refraction, because here we don't have direct refraction, or it's very small, or something very dark here, and we will not use it. Okay, so we are going to use our indirect refraction, which had the refraction of the foam. And actually we have our vorticity, and we have shuffled the vort, or the here in this shuffle node we have shuffled the speed here. Okay, and the vorticity here. I think I have reversed the naming here, so this should be vorticity. Okay, and this should be speed. Actually, when you have a layer like vorticity or speed, when you add a shuffle node here, you may not find it here in the menu. So you may want to add a new layer here, call it speed, for example, and choose the layer here from the other speed or vorticity, and press OK, because it doesn't appear by default in the menu here. Okay, so also we have our foam, and with this foam here we can just separate the reflection and refraction. Okay, and you can do this yourself, but I didn't do it here. I just used the master pass of the foam, but you can separate your reflection and refraction of or the reflection, sorry, no, there is no refraction in the foam. You can separate the reflection of the foam and control it in order to get better results. So the first thing here is the indirect reflection. I have added a color correction node. You can add color correct node by pressing C, and it gives us some options to play with here. And to compare the result here, I have added a tint of blue color and some white color here. I decreased this G component here. So anyway, I have made this color correction, which made this paler or brighter. Then in the direct reflection, this can control also the color of the ocean. Okay, so if you just want to make your ocean here or change its color to something to something more bluish, something more whitish or darker, you can just change the color of the ocean now. But I've just made a very small, I don't think I've yeah, this color correction here doesn't have any change, but I can just add a new one by pressing C and making my ocean a little bit darker. Okay, so we do this to open the color palette here. We control the game to control the color here, but to open the palette of colors, we press here on this palette here, and I can change my ocean look a little bit and change its color. Anyway, it's your choice. And we have our refraction. I've graded down or made the refraction here a little bit darker and changed its color by this grade node. Actually, I also played with the speed and the vorticity. I've graded the speed here. If you see, I changed its color to be somehow blue, and the same for vorticity. It's the same bluish color. And then in the last grade node here, I made it a little bit darker by decreasing the gamma. So yeah, if you see here, it's a little bit darker. Then I have merged all of these layers. First we have the indirect reflection and it's color corrected, and the direct reflection and it's color corrected. To merge two reflection layers, we add a merge node by pressing M and connect the A and the B layer. Okay, change the operation here from over to plus, because this is a reflection and you need to add the reflections together. You don't need an overlap. So if you set this to over, it will not make any difference, but it's preferred to add the reflections together instead of putting them over each other. Okay, then we have the refraction here and it's graded. Then we have merged it with our reflections. If we just change it to plus, okay. Then to make, we said that we are going to use our speed and vorticity to make this area of high speed and vorticity more bright, and actually this is very useful. So if you see here, after we added our speed with this merge plus, it's brighter now. You can just press 2 here and 1 here in order to have different viewers, so that you can compare by pressing 1 or 2. So this is without the vorticity added, without the speed added, and this with the speed added, so it made this brighter. Then we added our vorticity by the same way. Okay. And then we graded our foam a little bit. Okay. Yeah, the color grading is the same as color correction, but there are options here in the color corrections color correct node that is not available in the grade node. So you can just see Nuke tutorials to identify the difference between these two nodes and to master them, because this is not the subject of our course. But actually they are pretty simple, and you can just try to play with the options here. to get different results. I always play with gain when I want to change color. Maybe I will play with my gamma if I want to make my simulation or my render brighter or darker. Anyway, we can just isolate different layers from our foam as we have talked about before. So you can just shuffle the direct reflection or indirect the direct reflection of our foam. You can color it and make it brighter like this. Then you can add a merge node, then here make it plus, and this is just, if you see the specular now of the foam is brighter. Feel free to add or just change the color of your reflection. You can just make it very bright like this. You can change its color. Okay, but anyway, I didn't use it, so I've just color corrected my foam. These two nodes here, no value. So this is my foam, and I merged it with my mesh. So here is the mesh, here is the foam. Then I have added this merge over to merge them over each other. Okay, now I have my foam above my mesh here, and this is a very good result. The last thing that you should add is the is your navy plane, which is not available in this frame. So if you just preview it and maybe load frame 43, here's our navy plane. Okay, and see it's merged now above our simulation. So you use a merge over. Actually, you need to give an attention to the layers. When you just want to put the foam over the simulation mesh, you need the foam to be the A input and the simulation mesh to be the B input, because the things on the A input will be over the B input. Okay, so this is after the addition of our plane, and this is the final compositing. Surely it's not a very good it's just a basic rendering, and you can add a lot of things. You can just change a lot of details, but yeah, it's really cool as a basic rendering, and I really like it. And if you just want to put your own changes, but look now at the motion blur. This blur thing here gives our foam this nice looking, and the specular of our foam is here. Also, the specular of our mesh is looking very fine. Feel free to play or make more passes if you want, and I will be really happy to have your questions, and I will try my best to make anything simpler if you just don't understand it. Thank you for watching this course. It was a really good trip, and we did a lot of things. I hope you just enjoyed the whole process, and yeah, there are some things that may be strange or hard for the first time, but if you just want to ask anything, I'm here. And yeah, open up your determination, and everything will be okay. I was really interested to introduce this course, and I'm really happy that I have finished this. Thank you for watching all.